Welcome to Super Tuesday, presented by Boost Mobile. And tonight we come to you from Morgantown, West Virginia, the home of the #2 Mountaineers as they take on the Baylor Bears. And that, of course, significant, being #2. It has been a while, and the folks around here made note of it as they saw on the front page of the paper, the Dominion Post, the Ears ranked #2 in the U.S. Been a long time for West Virginia. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. John Shambi and Tom Crean with you here tonight. Quite a pleasure to get a chance to watch this one. We'll get to Baylor coming up, but a West Virginia team that can do so many things, but specifically, what makes them special?
Well, John, I think it's just the relentless pursuit of the ball, whether it's in the pressure of the backcourt, whether it's when the shot goes up off the glass. They never stop attacking the ball on both ends of the court.
All right, #2 of the AP poll. It's their highest rank since 1959. And they have now won 14 in a row. That's the longest active streak in the country. And there he is, his 11th year at his alma mater. 8 times to the NCAA tournament with West Virginia. Twice in his career he's been to the Final Four. And, of course, coached #1 Cincinnati back in the 99-2000 season.
That season was my indoctrination into Division I basketball. As a head coach, if Kenyon Martin doesn't get hurt, Bob's probably got, very likely, one of the nicest NCAA championship rings going. That team was incredible.
Kenyon Martin with that leg injury. And the tip is won by Baylor. Vital able to collect it and put it in. Mark Vital inserted into the starting lineup and playing very well. Takes the tip, puts it in, and an early 2-0 lead for Baylor. Javon Carter handling. He is their do-it-all point guard, and a guy who works so hard at both ends of the court. Feed inside. Kanate contested. Down on the floor. Achuil comes away with it. Gets it to Vital. And now a steal back. Dexter Miles. A little out of control. Vital falls down. What do they have? They have a travel. It'll go back to West Virginia. So a high-paced start to begin this one.
Absolutely. The neck brace isn't quite needed yet. It will be, but this is exactly what Scott Drew would have wanted by putting Vital in the starting lineup. Bring energy, bring aggressiveness, bring fearlessness, and he's doing that early inside of this game. He's very active on the ball.
So West Virginia ranked 2nd in the country. Remember last year when these teams met here, it was Baylor #1 in the nation for the first time in program history. Kanate here, coming off a very good game, turns it over, out of bounds, Baylor basketball. Mentioned Sagaba. Kanate coming off that good game, had 16 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks in 33 minutes in the win on Saturday over Oklahoma.
Here comes that pressure right off the beginning, man-to-man. Running, jump the ball. They love to get them on the sidelines.
McClure hoists a 3. Got it. King McClure buries it from deep.
Good start for King McClure. He played 2 minutes in this game a year ago, so he's definitely underway to having a good night.
Kanate, baseline jumper, way too strong, but there to put it back in is Wesley Harris.
And no matter how they get it, the weak side offensive boards are part of the Bob Huggins staple his entire coaching career.
LeConte inside, and a layup will go for Tristan Clark, the freshman from San Antonio.
So far, they're advancing the ball against the press with the pass, which is almost the only way to beat this unless you're Trae Young or a speed guard that can just get by it. Very good job of moving the ball ahead.
Jumper is good for Lamont West, who, like Kanate, played well against Oklahoma. He had 17 in 34 minutes. LeConte being harassed, the University of Miami transfer. He's a guy who can shoot it. Inside, Vital flips it up, wouldn't go. A good position and a good look at it. And a double dribble, a turnover, so sloppy in the early going. Both teams turning it over a bunch.
It really is. It'll be interesting to see how quick Baylor wants to play. There's two ways to go against a press. You can attack it like they did early and get some things at the back of the press, or you can just break it and go into your half-court offense. They took a lot of time to get into an isolation there, even though they missed the post-up. But that may be the recipe for once you get in the half-court.
Vital lost the handle out of bounds, but it'll stay Baylor basketball. So one of the trademarks for Baylor, and I would say that it's still the case, is just the length that they have. So defensively, it factors in, and obviously, offensively with those long limbs and bodies trying to see over the pressure.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. These are two teams that are relatively positionless, and put basketball players out there that are athletic.
Wow, Kanate swatting that one out of bounds.
He's got 40 blocks on the year. His timing is so enormous. He's got great reach. He's got great length, but he's got impeccable timing when it comes to timing up when to go for the block or when to alter a shot.
Born in Mali, but played his high school basketball in Pennsylvania. Vital going to work, blocked by Kanate, his second.
He's aggressive, though. Vital has definitely come out to prove that he belongs in a game of this magnitude.
West gets his shot blocked. Vital. Kick to LeConte for three. Got it in transition.
Three-pointer by LeConte.
Scott Drew's got to be happy with the start because it's out of more than Manu's hands. It's definitely being moved around. It's not a one-man press break. They're getting out aggressively on boards and turnovers.
Baylor off to a good start. Jumper wouldn't go for Harris. And here's LeConte. The Bears with a 6-point advantage. And a pass a little too far. And a turnover.
Great job. I thought the hands came over the body, but they got away with it. Make a great pass on the cross court to Manu, 3-point shot. And that's where he's got to get his threes. He's got to get him in transition. He's got to get him in a driving kick game.
What a job Scott Drew has done since taking over his 15th year at Baylor, a program that has risen from the ashes, so to speak, in 7 NCAA tournaments. He's built it into one of the national powers.
He really has. He's a developer. Guys get better. It doesn't matter if it's the guards, and he's had numerous guards. He's had the forwards. They become better basketball players there.
Allen gets inside. Teddy buckets. That wouldn't go. And a rebound pulled down by LeConte.
Teddy buckets
Lindsey in as well.
You're right. Teddy buckets needed the glass on that one rather than try to shoot it over the length. Teddy buckets. That's great. We're going to be saying that all night.
Good hands there by West. Achuil. And over and back. Our under 16 timeout. Baylor leading in 10-4 here in Morgantown in the early going. Bob Huggins, last time West Virginia ranked number 2, 1959.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Boost Mobile.
Well, the 1959 Mountaineers, they went 26-5 in the Southern Conference. Back to Dwight D. Eisenhower, president of the United States. Hawaii and Alaska officially became states. Barbie, debut for Barbie back in 1959. And then little Bob Huggins on your left, 6 years old. That's the last time that West Virginia was ranked number 2. Amazing.
Yeah, and I would have to imagine that as far as people we know, John Seth Greenberg would remember that team probably. He was probably around for some of those days.
Coached against that team, you're saying?
Well, at the very least.
It was just a gratuitous cheap shot.
It was. He's in the studio. He'll have something to come back with.
I'm sure he will. Yeah. Lindsey. Guys known for taking care of the ball. He's shooting pretty well this year. Kick to the corner. LeConte fires. Got it. Another 3. Manu hits it.
Great skip pass. Lindsey's got to be a guy that's got to be active in this offense, and he's got to look more for a shot. That was a tremendous pass on a cross-court to Manu in that corner.
Baylor on a 6-0 run. West Virginia's missed its last 4 shots. Just getting started here in Morgantown. And inside, West couldn't get it to go. Follow wouldn't go, out of bounds. And it's Mountaineer basketball. John Chobby and Tom Crean with you here.
Great job by Lindsey of keeping his head up. The pressure comes. He backs off with the dribble. Puts an on-time, on-target pass to LeConte in the corner. He was ready to shoot it on the closeout. Great play.
One of those subtle things, but a guy who handles the ball, 6'5", and most of the guys that are charging at him a little smaller than him, able to see over the defense.
And he's really quick. He plays with really great awareness, quick twitch, but he's got to take shots, look to make more shots for this team, especially at the back of this press tonight.
Teddy Allen gets a shot blocked by Joe Lual-Achuil. So West Virginia off to a slow start. Machi Bender is checked into the game for West Virginia. Feed inside as Clark is double teamed. Lost the handle. They go to the possession arrow, and it belongs to West Virginia. Terry Maxwell on the call down there. Terry Maston checks into the game.
This next trip down, one place that the zone of Baylor has been vulnerable is on the direct line pass off the top to the baseline. Previous possession, West Virginia had it. Let's see if they can continue to find it. But they make the switch and go man.
Miles goes baseline, kicks to his buddy Carter. Got a 3. Javon knocks it down. It's one of the areas in his career that has continued to improve, that outside shot, and he has worked hard at it. Lindsey hesitation, put it on the floor, off the glass. Rebound West Virginia. Here's Carter down. And Lindsey with the foul.
Baylor's walkthrough this morning started at 11:30. I got here at 11. Javon Carter was on the court then taking shots like that. He then went into the practice gym. He then came back and was on the court for a 2 o'clock walkthrough somewhere around 1:15. He was definitely on the floor by at least 4:45 this afternoon. That's probably about the 8,000th jump shot he's taken today alone. And I'm probably not exaggerating by much. Tremendous shot, tremendous worker.
And a foul on Baylor. Yeah, Bob Huggins says, and he's coached a lot of great players. He said the work ethic is as good as anybody that he has ever coached.
I can believe that. And I've never been here on game day, but just looking at what his game day work is like, it's extraordinary. I asked Bob the same thing, and he said he's not afraid of hard work.
Well, we came here, I was with Branford Schiller Saturday as they faced Oklahoma. And coming here early to the Oklahoma shoot, he was the guy that was on the court at 11:45 before Oklahoma. And West Virginia didn't shoot too much later. Allen inside, able to feed Miles. Back to Allen. Achuil with the block, but they get the foul. Achuil does not like that call.
Same thing today. Javon Carter had no rebounder, and he didn't really need it because I think at one point I counted 16 straight makes from the perimeter. But he had his music going. The Baylor guys walked in, walked over, got his music, went off into the other gym. Didn't bat an eye, just kept working. It looks like it's a daily routine for him.
Our Women's Thursday Night Showcase returns and features 2 of the top teams in the country. Muffet McGraw leads 15-1 at second-ranked Notre Dame into the Yum Center to tip with undefeated Louisville. It's 7 p.m. on ESPN on Thursday. 4-point game now. Baylor breaks pressure.
You're right, John. That's what they did. They broke it. They had a chance to attack it. They didn't. You cannot go to the corner against any pressing team, but definitely not against a West Virginia team on the first pass. They've got to get the ball up in front.
Teddy Allen picking up that last foul. Lindsey finds Maston. Maston had missed a chunk of time with a broken hand earlier in the year. Achuil, a little short jumper wouldn't go. And now Allen up to Carter. West Virginia's been a bit out of sorts offensively. That shot wouldn't go, and I think they got Allen on a shove, and that'll be his second.
Kenny Allen number 2.
So Kenny Allen picks up number 2. He'll grab a seat on the bench. And Bob Huggins' team down 4 here in the early going.
One of our biggest keys coaching against Bob when I was at Marquette and he was at Cincinnati was because of that relentless pursuit of the ball. We really made the game into 4-minute games. I was never a big believer in that, but when we played Cincinnati, when we played a Bob Huggins team, we were, because they keep coming at you. Right now, Scott Drew has got to be happy with this start. Not that pass, but the start.
Really sloppy. Looked like a turnover at first. Now McClure back. Shot blocked by Konate. And he gets shoved on the baseline. I believe that's 3 blocks now for Sags Konate.
He's got great timing. He times it up. He's got the length, but he's got impeccable timing, again, of going up and not fouling. Look at his hands. Look at his reach. He works with both hands. Too many shot blockers can only block a shot with one hand. He can get up both at the same time as well as anybody.
That last foul on Baylor's Mark Vital.
Somewhere there's some volleyball coaches around the West Coast that are really regretting they never had a chance to sign him.
LeConte on the turnover. LeConte had it stripped away, out of bounds. It stays with Baylor as he was being harassed by Javon Carter. Slow start for the number 2 team in the country here at home. Back here in Morgantown. So the top 5 right now, 13 losses versus unranked opponents. That's the most through January 8th of the AP poll in history, back since the 48-49 season. So the teams up top have gotten knocked off, and here we are in a spot with an unranked Baylor off to a good start at number 2 West Virginia.
Well, and they only had 1 turnover in that 4-minute segment right there, and that's such a key to this game. They're getting good looks. They're getting to the glass. And there are so many good teams in this country, and I know it's said ad nauseum, but it truly is. And it's so much about what your mindset is and what's your staying power. Can you last in a game doing what you do? And Baylor, we know, has always been a team that can get to the boards. They're unafraid. They're good at it.
And for West Virginia, just 3 for 15 from the floor. And usually their way to solve that problem is by getting more shots, by getting on the offensive glass. But Baylor is stingy as a defensive rebounding team. Inside, Vital banks that one home. He's a good-looking player. They call him Baby Rico. Remember, Rico gathers.
Well, he's doing Rico proud right now in that post-up. He has brought energy to this starting lineup.
His second start of the season for Vital, and he's got 4 early points. And Lamont West is fouled. They get the foul on Manu LeConte. That's his first. John Shelby, Tom Crean here in Morgantown, WVU Coliseum.
Baylor's off the ball on the inbounds right here. We have to watch for who matches up with Carter. Oh, he had him open.
Bolden into the game. He's their best shooter, the lefty. Miles fires. Got it.
Good execution by West Virginia. Baylor was definitely worried about the dives off those inbound sets. That's why they're not guarding the inbounder. But you've got to match up with the guards quick, because once that ball's moving for West Virginia, they're tough to handle.
Vital inside, lays it in. Beautiful, as that shot was contested by Konate. Carter going to work. Let's see where they go in this possession. And McClure almost took it away. He did. It ended up off West, out of bounds. Baylor ball.
Vital has made his presence felt in this game from the beginning of the game. Gets that ball out in front, plays through the contact, keeps his eyes up, finishes high off the board. It's exactly the way anybody's got to play, but especially a freshman coming into an environment like this.
West Virginia takes it right back. Carter at 3. And that one wouldn't go. Bolden underneath. Puts it in. The smallest guy in the court, the offensive rebound and the putback.
Offensive rebounds turn that pressure up, and that press just energizes this team.
LeCompte lost the handle, but it kicks to Maston. Tachuil.
They've got him rushing. He's a left shoulder guy. Joe is, but right there, they've got him rushing.
Bolden wide open. Well, they expect him to make those. A guy who shoots in the low 40s. And again, their best three-point shooter. Baylor by 3. Under 10 to go here as Maston goes down low and an offensive foul.
Offensive foul, listed in Baylor's 31, Jerry Maston, his second. Team foul number 6.
That foul on Maston, his second.
Best thing you can say about a Bob Huggins team sometimes is his best offense is the missed shot. Here you see everybody in the glass, and the smallest guy on the court, certainly not the smallest heart, goes up, gets a board, puts it right back up and in. They just keep coming at you no matter who it is. They are unafraid of contact. They relish it, and they are always on a sprint to that glass.
Konate slow to get up, and I am not sure what it is. Some type of lower half injury. Let's take a look inside at number 50. Oh, he rolled his left ankle. Yeah. Ouch. That's one of those. Yeah. I mean, you feel it, right? When you watch that.
That's tough. You know, he's already battling. I mean, he's finishing up the walkthrough today. He's got 2 ice packs on his knees as he's shooting foul shots. And you can tell he just brings his very best every day. That's a tough way to go down there.
Baylor up 17-14, 9:22 to go in this one. West. Shot clock winding down. Here's Carter on LeCompte. Carter. Shot rejected, and now it's Vital the other way. Back to LeCompte. It has been a rough first half offensively for West Virginia. Tachuil, he'll try it. Gets that one.
Can't give that up. You cannot dare a guy to shoot the ball. He's very good getting his feet set. He's unafraid of that shot.
Bolden not able to answer. And then a travel on Baylor, and it'll be West Virginia basketball.
Yeah. I know Joe only made 2 threes before that, but you don't want to give a guy a day and a half to take that jump shot. That just builds more confidence. So on one hand, you say, okay, he feels good taking that, we'll let him. But this team's already playing with some energy. And you don't want that confidence to grow so much if you're almost said it, if you're West Virginia.
Baylor 4 for 4 from 3. Miles gets another 3. That's a biggie. McClure handling. Back to Lindsay, who gets inside. And the putback there, the tip from Joe Lual-Acuil.
Great job of attacking the press. Lindsay goes to the rim, misses it, but there's Joe on the backside for the weak side too.
Miles from way downtown. That's short. Lindsay tracks it down. Baylor has just come out and kind of punched West Virginia in the mouth, and the Mountaineers just haven't had an answer at the offensive end. Tachuil puts it on the floor, and the layup will go.
He's playing aggressive. He's very much a left shoulder, right-handed guy. They invited him to take that drive. He got the ball out in front of him. Excellent drive by Lual-Acuil.
Bolden from West. And a rebound ripped down by Clark. So Vita Bolden's had some opportunities.
He's fading on his shot though, John. He's such a good compact shooter, but he has a tendency to fade when he misses. And his last couple of jump shots have not had good landings because of the way he's taken the shot.
Tachuil has scored the last 7 Baylor points. And And he walked. Lindsay with the turnover. A rarity. Baylor facing number 2. They lead it by 7. Right now we send it back to the studio. Back here in Morgantown, John Shelby, Tom Crane, the number 2 team in the country at home. And down by 7. Big 12 basketball here. West Virginia coming off a good win at home Saturday against Trae Young in Oklahoma. And now they moved up to the number 2 spot. Highest ranking for the program since 1959. Miles kick out. Carter as they move the ball. Bolden puts it on the floor, flips it up, wouldn't go. And Clark the board. It's been a rough start for the Mountaineers offensively. Omot and Carter rebounds the miss. Fans wanted a foul. West the 3, and he knocks it down.
Really good play by Bolden. He thought about it. He drove to the rim. He saw the length in there. Finds West in the trail. Very, very good play.
West, good shooter. He had 17 in their win on Saturday in 34 minutes.
He is confident as a shooter, isn't he, John? I mean, it's amazing to me how much improvement he's made. He's definitely more aggressive offensively every time you see him play.
Just a sophomore. Did have the red shirt. Tyson Jolly into the game for Baylor. This is Jolly with the ball inside. Clark left hand, and the freshman couldn't finish, but he'll go to the line. Sags Konate picks up the foul.
Clark at the line for Baylor, 2 shots.
Clark is 61% free throw shooter. For Konate, his first foul. Coming up Saturday afternoon on ESPN, it's Hoops ×2. Number 21 Kentucky going up against Vanderbilt. That's at 4. And then North Carolina going up against Notre Dame at the Joy Center in South Bend. Both games part of our Saturday showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. So Baylor by 6 as we close in on 5 to go here in the first half. John Shelby, Tom Crane from Morgantown.
West Virginia came down, ran one of their stack sets against the zone.
That's from way downtown and way off the mark. Harler almost corralled the rebound. And they get a foul on Chase Harler.
Well, Bob is sending a message, and the message to his team right now is this is unacceptable. He's gone deep into the bench. He's upset with the front line. He's not getting the energy that he needs. And really the thing that's striking to me is just how quiet West Virginia is on the court. And as soon as they could get a couple runs together, then this crowd, which has become a bit quiet, and they don't want to be quiet, can turn it up.
Carter almost came up with a takeaway. Here's the other part that I find interesting. You know, you examine stats and see how results take place. Baylor is up 6. They got 9 turnovers. They have turned it over in this game. West Virginia has been able to do that, and yet Baylor has been able to really be in control of this game.
And exactly right. And if it weren't for the 8 points off the turnovers that they've gotten, it would be a much different margin for Baylor right now. So the bottom line is this Baylor's doing a really, really good job of decision making once they get it into the front court.
Now West Virginia in the game 7 for 27 from the floor, shooting just 26%. LeCompte, little hesitation. Achuil with the clock winding down, high off the glass. Actually, that missed everything. Carter comes up with it. Miles gets inside, hangs, couldn't hit. And the West Virginia fans wanted a foul. McClure give off inside. Vital gets fouled. Mark Vital, you can see why they inserted him into the starting lineup. He's made an impact in this game. A nice look from McClure. And by the way, Konate now has 2 fouls.
Well, he's always had a rep as a hard playing, aggressive athletic guy who was a developing player offensively. Paul Biancardi was a guy with us at ESPN that's always been high on him. But he's improved so much in the sense of his decision-making and feel. And again, that energy is there, but the energy doesn't do you any good if you can't make plays for other people. And Vital's doing both right now.
Seems as well, you know, at the college game, he goes 6'5", 230, and he's listed as a forward, but he does have some guard skills. So
he does.
It seems like he can overpower some of the guards.
He really can, and he's a matchup problem, much like Teddy Allen is, or Teddy Buckets, who's not been buckets yet, but is for West Virginia. He's hard to guard. Do you guard him? You put a guard on him, it's really hard down low. You put a bigger man on him, he can get by him, get under him.
West jumper over Maston.
Not a good shot. Not a good shot. That's where West becomes almost too confident offensively. Taking a step back, three like that, it's a jump shot, not good.
Our under 4 timeout. Baylor by 6. It's a good doubleheader coming up on Monday starting at 7 Eastern. Our game right here, number 2 West Virginia taking on Baylor. And the Mountaineers down by 6. Bob Huggins' team shooting 24% from the floor. Chase Heiler at the line.
The other part, John, this is only their 3rd free throw. And if there's one area that West Virginia has got to continue to be cognizant of is how do they get fouled? They've got to get to the free throw line to continue to be one of the absolute elites in the country.
Heiler a little strong. Rebound pulled down by Nooney Oman.
Really impressed with how they have handled this pressure one-on-one throughout the game to get in their offense.
Good look inside. Kanate with the block. It's his 4th. With 2 hands, he comes Maston. Heiler at 3. And a big turn of events.
I think he's got a future in basketball, but there has got to be a pro volleyball unit out there that could use that kind of length. He goes up with 2 hands. He is ambidextrous when it comes to his shot blocking.
Kanate with 4 blocks in the game. Still to come tonight, Purdue and Michigan. LeConte gets inside. Kanate contests. Carter picks it up. They get numbers. Now Miles inside. And they get the block on King McClure. And Miles will go to the line.
The timing, the hands, the length, the reach, you just name it. And he goes up and he gets it. The ball's out and gone. That energizes the entire team. They do a great job of making the next pass off an early help. 3 in the corner. That got us going in here with our crowd. Now it's getting a little harder to think.
Kanate with 4 blocks coming off a 5-block performance on Saturday. His career high is 6 as Miles misses the free throw.
And if you talk to the coaches, Ron Everhart said this today, he is so good away from the basket. And when you can defend like he can, moving his feet, and has never played basketball before he got to the United States. He was a soccer player. I get it. His feet, his hands, his eye-hand coordination, his quick movement, excellent.
McClure lost the handle. Kanate trying to save it. West gets it to Miles. West Virginia ball. And they turn it right back over. Man. Up ahead now, Oman. Little Euro step, lost the handle. This is not a Mona Lisa right now.
No, not at all. But they kept the ball, which is a victory in itself.
I'm not judging. I do not have my white powdered wig on. I'm just saying. You know?
I've been there where you lose some of your life in that 10 seconds when that team is pressing.
Yeah.
When a Bob Huggins team is bringing that pressure, and you are just praying that they do not drive it over to the sideline.
Scott Drew just got a coach's box warning.
You should never get a coach's box warning with that 10 feet. Now, me, I broke that a lot when I was coaching. I'd have done anything to have those 10 extra feet.
Some of the courts, though, it's not well marked.
No, that's true, and this is one of them.
LeConte was looking for some help. Clock winding down. McClure got to fire it up. That missed everything. Shot clock violation. Good defensive possession.
Tough possession. Joe needed to dive because what happened is there was no space at the top for anybody to come back into the play. They doubled up into the pick and roll. You've got to continue to have move. When West Virginia brings two people to the ball, you have got to be able to have movement to get that next pass. The pass out of the trap is the second pass to get you the shot.
Under 2 to go here, first half. Kanate jumper. Got it. And we are all tied up. A 6-0 West Virginia run.
Big possession right here. Take it down into the clock. Get a good shot. Look to get it inside.
That spacing there. Our first tie of the night. And Lindsay, oh, they got the foul. Thought maybe there was a walk in that spot.
Good call. There's quite a few people here that reside in West Virginia that don't agree, but that was a good call.
So 26-26, 1:23 to go. Bob Huggins' team, they scored 89 points on Saturday.
Well, and they're averaging 84.5 coming into the game. Almost that in conference play in 3 games.
LeCompte catch and shoot, gets another 3. That's his 3rd 3 of the game.
I look over at the bench and I see Larry Harrison because he was so adamant today in defending the out-of-bounds plays and the inbounder being such a big part of it. And LeCompte comes right in, comes off the screen. That's where he's good. Really good.
1 minute to go here. Carter trying to answer. And a rebound pulled down by the freshman Tristan Clark. And the offensive foul, little push off. They get Lindsay on that one, and that'll be Lindsay's 2nd.
It's an aggressive game. See, coming out of this timeout, if they can get Carter going, this has been a definite subpar first half for him with 3 points.
3-point game. Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears on the road with the lead.
There are a chosen few in possession of an X factor most can only dream of, capable of bringing a packed building to its feet with a simple wave of their arms. They don't just inspire school spirit, they embody it. Statues are built in their honor. Yep, there's no big man on campus bigger than the one in the big furry suit.
.8 to go here in the first half. John Shambi and Tom Green from Morgantown, West Virginia. Javon Carter's had a rough first half. Only 3 points, 1 of 4 from the floor. As a group, they're shooting 28%.
Well, and they're missing some open shots. And it's very atypical, obviously, for a West Virginia team, and especially for Javon Carter. But they're missing some shots, and it's not that they're bad shots. They're taking good shots badly, whether it be the footwork, whether it be where they're landing, being ready to shoot, things of that nature. But if I'm Bob Huggins, I'm not disappointed in the shots I'm getting, like that one right there.
Bolden knocks it down. We're tied up.
They're taking pretty good shots with the exception of a couple guys. As far as forcing them, they just hadn't knocked them down. All correctable.
Baylor holding for the last shot. LeCompte with Carter on him. LeCompte trying to turn the corner. Achuil, and they don't get it off. Great work by West Virginia. And we go to the break. 29 apiece for Bob Huggins' team. A season low, matching with 29 first half points. 29 apiece after the break. We head to the studio. Chris Cotter, Seth Greenberg, and Jay Williams. Welcome back to Super Tuesday, presented by Boost Mobile. Back here in Morgantown, we get ready for second half action, and the number 2 team in the country tied at the break, 29 apiece, West Virginia and Baylor. West Virginia ranked second for the first time since 1959. It was not a pretty first half, though, Tom Crean.
No, it really wasn't. And when you're a team like West Virginia, you've got to be able to win a lot of different ways. And they started to do a better job at the end of the half. They missed open shots early on in the game. Baylor got those open shots at the bottom. But the bottom line is they were listless at times, and Baylor just took over at the beginning and got confidence. And now it's West Virginia's job to come back and take away that confidence in the first probably 8 minutes of this half.
West Virginia shooting just a shade over 30% from the floor in the first half.
And we look at it, John. Teddy Allen, 0 points, 4 minutes. Javon Carter, 3 points, 20 minutes. Very unindicative of how they play. But these first 8 minutes are going to tell a big story. I was never big on the first 5 minutes. I think the first 8 minutes is huge.
Chase Harler starting the second half for West Virginia. Feed inside, Achuil, blocked by Konate. That's number 5 for him.
Great one-on-one play, because that's one of Baylor's go-to isolation plays.
West steps through, lost the handle, turns it over. Been a lot of that tonight at both ends. McClure fires a 3, way off. So the Mountaineers, despite a bumpy first half, the number 2 team in the country, they find themselves tied at 29. 29 points, by the way, matches a season low in first half point production. West just inside the 3-point line, gets that to go. First lead of the night for West Virginia.
I laugh because as soon as he missed the jumper the time before, Teddy Allen went to check in. Now Teddy Allen's coming back. Credit Bob Huggins for calling his name right off the bat like that after the first miss. Lamont West made a mistake. He was coming out, goes right back to him. He answers. That's a confident shooter.
Harler harassing LeConte at the free throw line, and that one rattles in and out, and Manu LeConte will go to the line and shoot 2. Chase Harler picks up the foul. That's his second.
Yeah, Harler probably hasn't blocked a whole lot of shots, probably maybe since the 8th grade. I'm not sure that'd be anything right now that I'd be looking to do. I think the bottom line in a situation like that, hold your ground. You know he wants to pump fake. Larry Harrison kept making that point today about how important the pump fakes were going to be in this game.
Yeah, and as you said, I mean, he's biting in a pump fake by a jump shooter. And they're 2 of the smaller guys on the court. LeConte able to get them both, and we're tied at 31. Manu LeConte, by the way, the first player in double figures, got 11 for either team. Harler gets that to go.
They're attacking the zone through the middle. That time they hit the high post. But there are some real gaps in the middle of that zone, whether it's a direct line pass from the top to the bottom or whether it's through the high post to the bottom.
They just do break the pressure. An ill-advised shot there by LeConte, and now it's Carter in West Virginia.
Oh, missed the post up.
Carter looking at Konate. Ball fake inside, blocked by Achuil. And now Miles sets it back up and gives it over to Javon Carter. Konate short on that shot. West Virginia with Miles and Carter in the backcourt. It's as experienced a Power 5 backcourt as there is in the country with those 2 seniors.
And they put so much pressure on the other team's guards, whether it's the starters, whether it's the subs, because they never take a play off defensively.
Vital able to get the rebound, and he is fouled. Foul on Daxter Miles Jr. That's his second. So Dax picking up the foul.
In all inbound situations for Baylor, you have to be so concerned about the inbounder sprinting back in for a pass. See if Baylor can find a way to get Lindsey off the ball, free him up so he can come off and spot up for some shots.
Achuil from LeConte. That one tipped out of bounds. West Virginia basketball. Clark will grab a seat, and Terry Maston checks back in. So TJ back in the game. Well, the Mountaineers have started the second half with a good defensive effort. Baylor 0 for 5 from the floor to begin since the break. Harler with Lindsey on him. Feed inside. Good look in the bucket there.
Great cut. The flex cut action on the bottom is something they do such a great job of, in the sense of everybody coming off that cut knows how to come for the layup or how to bump back. And if you give any help at all with the inside player, they've got a seal, which is what they really want as much as the cut.
Achuil, the offensive rebound, and he puts it in.
Let's see if they come back. They've got to go back inside, keep the court spread, see if they can get the ball right back inside.
Joe Lual Achuil with 9 to go along with 6 rebounds. Kanate inside, and Lindsey the rebound. Teddy Allen getting set to check back in for West Virginia. LeConte gets past Carter, lost the handle, kick out Lindsey, now Vital. Wow. And that'll go. Nice job by Mark Vital. He's got 8.
Looked like he got grabbed on the drive, gets that ball in front, scores on the other side of the rim. It seems like a little thing, but one thing that the Baylor players are so good at is getting the ball on one side of the basket and scoring on the other. You see Joe do it all the time. Vital's learned how to do it. They really utilize the other side.
Miles with a big 3 right there. And West Virginia back up by 3. And they get the block on Lamont West. Timeout of the court. Number 2 team in the country in a dogfight. Well, there's a look at the last team that was ranked number 2 in the country, the last West Virginia team, featuring Jerry West out front, number 44, the logo. And that 59-60 squad getting back to the NCAA tournament. They got as high as number 2 in the AP poll. Remember, that was a year after they were the national runner-up.
Got to admit, it was pretty impressive driving in today and seeing that statue out there, Jerry West. That's pretty strong.
One of the legends in all of basketball, and really, you know, that's when you talk about the combo of college and pro. He is one of those guys that transcends on both fronts.
Oh, definitely, and still so actively involved in the game from the management side. I mean, when he speaks, people pay attention. When there's something to read, people read it.
Lindsey up ahead. And then was he able to throw it off of Allen? He was. Well done. He caught that pass and then found himself beyond the basket. There was nothing he could do. And so alertly he threw it off of Teddy Allen. So Baylor maintains possession, down 3, 14:53 to go here, second half. Maston going to work on West. Lost the handle. Gets it back. Feed inside. Achuil. Two-handed stuff. Is that our first dunk of the night? Feels like it.
Yeah,
we haven't had it's been choppy.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. It's some congested paint right now for both teams. Both teams playing three-point line and in.
West jumper, got that one. That's a 3.
Good movement. They got some reversals. They didn't overdo it with the dribble. You've got to spread out the bottom of that zone, and going corner to corner is one of the ways to do that.
Tyson Jolly into the game.
Again, you can't let Lamont West stand there. You got to get up into him and crowd him. He gets a speed set. He's very, very good, very accurate.
Inside, and did they get the foul on Teddy Allen? Yes, they did. Our NBA Wednesday doubleheader tips at 8 Eastern with Russ, Carmelo, Paul George, and OKC squaring off against the T-Wolves. And then we take you to Oracle for DeAndre Jordan. The Clippers taking on Steph, KD, and the defending champs. Coverage begins NBA Countdown at 7 on ESPN.
There's Jerry West's new team with the Clippers versus his last team with the Warriors. Speaking of Jerry West.
Lindsay wide open. Can't hit. He's having a good year from the outside. Omot with a big offensive rebound.
Long threes turn into long rebounds. Exactly what Baylor took advantage there. That's one of the things that makes West Virginia so good.
Great pass by Lindsay as he finds Jolly. He's got good vision. Of course, his dad played at Baylor. Dad, the GM of the Jazz.
And certainly Dennis is one of the most respected guys in all of the NBA.
Chiwill pulls down the board. And a 2-point game. Number 2 in the country, West Virginia. In a fight here at home. Conference play against Baylor. Bender chasing down. Along with Carter. Omot will hoist. Out of bounds. And it'll be West Virginia basketball.
Lindsay misses the shot. The ball comes back, plays with his eyes up. Jolly gets a seal, which is exactly what you have to do. We knew it was going to be UCF wrestling inside with the one-on-one play, and rightfully so, because there's going to be so many one-on-one matchups that you got to be able to take advantage of because of the trapping. And that's exactly what Jolly did. But a great pass by Lindsay.
Did you just combine the UFC and wrestling together?
I think I did.
That's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
We're just going mixed martial arts.
Well, what I am, though, I'm very sports-centric tonight. I used the volleyball examples in the first half.
That's right.
With you, I'm trying to figure out a way to get to baseball. So
we'll talk it. We'll talk it. Last foul on Tristan Clark is first. Inside, Harler is fouled.
Good cut. Good aggressive cut. If you're standing straight up with your opponent, you're beat. The low man always wins.
So Harler will go to the line. West Virginia native from Moundsville. We've actually got a chance, speaking of West Virginia native, Morgantown zone. Nate Adrian, saw him pregame. He's here tonight. When these teams met last year in West Virginia, was able to knock off #1 Baylor. Baylor last year, this game in Morgantown, they were ranked first in the country for the first time in program history. And Adrian at 22, and West Virginia was able to knock off the #1 team in the land.
He was one of my favorite guys. We would show clips of how hard West Virginia was playing, how competitive they were. And I would make another edit on Adrian to see how relentless he was on the ball, how he came to the trap, how he was in constant motion. And with our team at Indiana, I was so impressed. Never met him before tonight, but so impressed with how he played.
Another block. Bolden had a great look at it, and they get a foul inside. Is it on Clark or is it on West? It'll be on Terry Maston.
Yeah, I'm done with the volleyball. I can't go back to that, so I don't even know what to say. That ability to time up, and you have to know that he's there. Okay, when he's on the court, you have to know, and he has got such quickness in a short space to be able to go over there and rotate. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave the next sports analogy to you, John.
All right. Well,
I'm out.
Let me say, unofficially, 7 blocks for Konate. And that is a career high. It's his 4th game this season with 5 or more blocks.
He's impressive.
Yeah,
he really is. Impressive athlete, impressive young man. And when you hear his story, that's even more impressive.
West In close, trying to use the glass, and it wouldn't go.
Can you imagine? Let's go to another sport. Could you imagine him as a soccer goalie?
No.
Soccer being his sport?
It would be crazy. Vital able to save it. Out to McClure. Gets a 3.
Like the pace, though. The pace is starting to pick up. There you go, Carter. All right. Get it off the board.
LeConte, a 3 the other way. Off the mark. McClure can't tip it in. Clark the rebound. And now LeConte will set it back up. 20 on the shot clock. McClure, another 3. King McClure's had a pretty good shooting night from 3, but wasn't able to get it to go that time.
Really impressed with Baylor's transition defense.
Canate, shot wouldn't go. He wanted a foul. Toss up ahead. Achuil harassed by Harler and Carter. Carter gets it saved from Harler. To the corner. Bolden wide open.
If you are loose anywhere with that ball and you put it out there and Carter is anywhere near it, it's going to be a steal. His hands are so quick. He is ferocious on the ball. They get the ball thrown ahead, and one of the reasons Carter's such a great two-way player, he could have taken that shot, tried to get to the rim. He throws it ahead to Bolden, wide open 3.
Vital. There's the steal by Carter, and they get a foul on McClure.
Carter's around that ball. Good things are going to happen for his team and not for the other team. And when that ball is stolen and Harler was right in there, the ball's thrown ahead. Bolden lines up in the corner. Wide open 3.
Oklahoma extending their lead on ESPNU.
Trey Young against West Virginia on Saturday here in Morgantown at 29, but was harassed at a season-high 8 turnovers in that game. He's a special player. I mean, he is unique, but I think that the West Virginia test, especially the atmosphere, and they came out hyped. Bob Huggins' team provided, I think, a test that he hadn't seen yet.
Well, he did, and they guarded him sometimes with 2, but usually with 1, which took away a lot of his outlets. His vision is so extraordinary, as you know.
Incredible.
And his ability to find an opening, whether it's a short pass, whether it's a long pass, the full court advance pass. And for the most part, they did an excellent job of taking that away from him, and he had to earn literally everything he got.
Inside, and they get a foul on Teddy Allen. I think that's Teddy Allen's 4th. It is. So Allen, who's been instant offense for West Virginia.
Well, Teddy has been on such a roll, and right now he's having trouble getting in the flow. And in this day and age, you can't post up with your upper body. You've got to use your lower body. There's no need to go that high. He's a strong young guy. But again, there's that one-on-one post-up, and they love to go to him out of timeouts. They love to isolate him.
Under 10 to go here, second half. And the Mountaineers lead it by 4 over Baylor. Lindsey puts it on the floor all the way to the basket.
Tremendous burst, great speed, great deception with that dribble. Finishes high off the board. They were looking for the switch so they could get Carter back on him, and he never went to the ball screen.
Carter tonight has matched a season low with just 3 points. Bolden can't hit.
Bolden a little bit off balance on that. He's so much better when he can dribble it in off that step back into his 3 or get his feet down.
10-second violation. Wow, Lindsey just wasn't paying attention. I mean, just walked it up too slowly.
Yeah, that's tough, and he knows it. And he wants it back. But I would say with the game that he's having, yeah, he has been a guy that has had a very short memory on mistakes tonight.
Okay, I can't let you off the hook there. As my analyst, you drop, yeah, that's tough. As the coach of the guy who loses sight of the clock just walking it up the court. How you feeling about it?
Well, right now, because of that move that he just made, I'm saying, hey, we're all right. Let's go. Next play.
Okay.
Now, if he hadn't made that drive on the layup over West, it could be another story.
Wow.
Look what Bob did when he was taking West out of the game. He gives him one more play, makes a jump shot.
Fair enough.
I'm just copying the great coaches, John.
That one rolls in for Sanks Kanate.
And think about it. He went down earlier in the game with the ankle.
That's right.
He has been a huge factor in this game.
From the corner, and that three will go. Nooney Oman.
Every time they get the ball advanced, whether it's in the corner to drive it out of there or to space this defense out, that's where West Virginia's had a harder time getting matched up in transition.
Kanate hangs, thought he was fouled. A one-point game, McClure going to work. Achuil puts it on the floor. Kanate may have gotten a piece. That one out of bounds. And it'll be West Virginia basketball. Kanate tonight a career high 7 blocks. The West Virginia blocks record, by the way, is 9. It's been like badminton.
He really said he keeps changing the game. And again, he's another one of those players. His shot block, the shots that he blocks are really good, but you have to be, he makes you aware that he's in there. And it's the shot altering. It's the shots that don't come because he's in there.
They just got the foul on McClure. They've given Kanate another block. That's 8. We get ourselves a 1-point game. West Virginia with the lead.
Lawrence against Iowa State, guys.
All right, so Trey Young leading the nation in both points and assists. Texas Tech at number 8. It's their highest ranking since 1996. And Teddy Buckets, newcomer of the week here tonight. 4 fouls, no points. It's been part of the reason that West Virginia hasn't been able to get on track offensively. That in combination with Javon Carter, who has matched the season low with 3 points, at least so far. Carter inbounding, finds Bolden, and Lindsey bumps him.
You know what's so impressive about Carter, though, with the coach's hat on over here? Here you got a guy, 17 points. This is one of the reasons he's one of the better guards in the country, if not the best two-way guard in the country. When's the last time you've seen him force a shot? He hasn't tried to force a shot. They're guarding him. He's making passes. I've seen nothing from him in the sense of body language or frustration. He just keeps playing. And a lot of guys with 3 points at 1 of 5 playing the way he is, they wouldn't handle that way. That's impressive.
Miles with Lindsey on him. Shot clock is at 6. West got to put something up. Kanate on Achuil, got to put it up. Then did they get a foul? Wow.
Faced up, got into his body. Got into his body. They were very, very fortunate there.
James Breeding going over to the table. What are they looking at?
This is part of the new cylinder rules. If this foul stands on the timing of the shot clock, he turned, went into the defender, was not given enough room. Scott's calling for verticality, but he moved into him, and that foul now goes on the defense.
Ooh.
That's tough.
Let him play.
Yeah, that one's tough. All game long, there's been physical play in the post. There's been physical play off the ball. It's been very good, nothing egregious. They're going.
Yeah, they're looking to see if the foul took place.
He faced up right there, so he's in the cylinder. Goes back.
Yeah,
he's not giving him room. I see it. I see the foul. Not sure I'd agree with it if I was Scott Drew,
but I think what they're looking at, though, is that is the shot clock violation before there's a foul on the shot.
All right.
So we'll try and listen. Yeah, I'm hearing a buzzer going off before the whistle, but that's just one look / listen. So you got Gary Maxwell and James Breeding over there trying to sort that one out. It's time for our look at our fan vote. It's brought to you by Capital One. And if you want to vote, you can go to SportsCenter's Facebook page. Our Capital One fan vote. Who should be #1 in college hoops? A, B, or C? Villanova, Virginia, West Virginia.
Now, right now, notwithstanding the way this game is going right now, when you haven't lost a game outside of the United States since Gonzaga in the Sweet 16, I'd say it's probably got to be you with West Virginia. And they have just continued to get better and better. They've continued to rise.
You haven't lost the game in the United States?
Well, they lost their first game of the year.
Yeah, Germany.
Absolutely.
But, but like,
that's a long time to go without losing in the United States, John.
Okay. I wasn't aware that we were slicing up the losses geographically.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to make my point.
You're being influenced because the Mountaineer is standing right over our shoulder. He's yelling C, and he's got a rifle in his hand. And by the way, that will be no foul. Gary Maxwell is explaining to Bob Huggins it was a shot clock violation.
Well, I couldn't quite hear it all the way. My children don't think my hearing is what it used to be as it is now, and I certainly couldn't hear it there.
Where's your bag?
So maybe they're right.
Where's your bag?
My bag?
Your bag.
Oh, it's here.
Yeah. You found it?
Yeah, I had that moment. I just misplaced my bag. I didn't lose it.
We're on a call today, and all of a sudden he's like, where's my bag? I got to go back to the gym. Oh, no, my bag's in the car.
Yeah, when you get older, you don't lose it. You misplace it.
Right. There's the Mountaineer. He just kept yelling C. Yeah.
Before the foul was called.
Yeah, that's right. Say hi to the fans. We understand. C. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna do the thing. I think Villanova should be #1.
I don't disagree that they're deserving.
Yeah.
And certainly with just the one blemish that they had against Butler and the way they came back was impressive, and they have done it over a long period of time. But if we're going on the basis of continuing to win, West Virginia had continued to do that.
I know it's not easy, but you just had all of that time. You know they're going to pressure, and you end up having to take a timeout out of a dead ball situation. Our women's Thursday night showcase returns and features two of the top teams in the country. It's #2 Notre Dame heading into the Yum Center to tip with undefeated 18-0 #3 Louisville. It's coming up on Thursday.
One Hall of Famer against a future Hall of Famer in that game. Jeff Walz has done a remarkable job there. And Muffet McGraw, certainly one of the best coaches ever done it.
Do they get Miles? Yeah, they get Miles knocking Lindsay over.
The place you do not want to go on a dead ball situation is into that corner. You've got the baseline, you've got the sideline, you've got the two West Virginia defenders, and then you try to skip it out of there. It just, you can't go there. You don't want to dribble the ball up the sideline, and you don't want to inbound it into the corner.
Now remember, West Virginia on Saturday, they won that game 89-76. But they had a whole slew of players in foul trouble. In fact, Carter sat in the second half for almost 10 minutes with 4 fouls. West ended up with 4. Miles as well. Baylor turns it over. And we go back the other way.
Nice slip idea, tough angle. That was probably both of them. Jake Lindsey probably a little bit too much on the pass, but the cut wasn't strong enough either. See if Baylor's cutting can continue to keep up. Right now, the last couple of possessions, they haven't been as engaged on that offensive end and getting great movement.
See if they can get Carter involved offensively. He's 1 for 5 from the floor. Gets inside, feeds Kanate, shot block, blocked again. And it ends up with Nuni Omot, and they go possession arrow, and it stays with West Virginia.
Baylor is not afraid in that paint. It has become treacherous living for both teams in there, because that was a great drop-off inside. He gets his hand up, they time it up, and they have such great length. We talked about it at the beginning.
Yep.
But they move. These are not Statue of Liberties. These are guys that move. They're aggressive. They use that length. They move their feet, and they're not afraid to challenge at the basket.
Inside, I think they get a foul on Vital. They did.
Well, one of the ways to guard Daxter Miles, Jr., you got to get up into his chest. but probably not that close. You've got to give him a little bit of room.
Third on Mark Vital, who's got 8 points. Baylor at a 11-4. West Virginia, longest win streak in the country, 14 in a row. They lost their opener in Germany, as Coach Green mentioned, to Texas A&M, and they won 14 straight, including a win on Saturday over Oklahoma. As Miles makes that one.
Now big now that every foul puts them in a situation where they're going to that line. They're a couple away from the double bonus. And if they're going to make a run, if West Virginia is going to make a run, it's going to come now. Got to come now.
McClure rebounds the miss. And a 2-point game, under 7 to go here, second half. Bolden able to draw the offensive foul. He is very good at doing that. McClure picks up his 4th.
It's right there. It's close. He goes down. He played it perfectly. Not sure that there was a big shoulder drop there. But now they've started to call that contact a lot tighter, you know, man on man.
Miles hoists, and that one misses everything. Two-point game, 49-47. West Virginia with the lead. Just about 6 to go here in Morgantown. John Shabby atop Green. Oh my. Off the window, wouldn't go. West the board. Carter, hesitation.
Carter hasn't been able to get down the middle of that court the entire night in transition. He has looked ahead and tried to make plays. Tough shot over length. Very tough shot.
Loose ball. What do they get? Out of bounds, I think. And it'll be Baylor basketball. Bob Huggins a little frustrated right now with his group.
Good insertion here in the last 5 to put Jake Lindsey back in the game for Scott Drew. He's a big playmaker down the stretch. A lot of people in that league. I was speaking with Darren Horn, assistant at Texas, and they have great respect for what a guy like Lindsey can do down the stretch. Other coaches in that league.
Now timeout on the floor. 49-47. It'll be Baylor basketball when we resume. 5:35 to go. It has not been pretty. Defense is dominated. Baylor shooting 39%. West Virginia 32%. What's Baylor done to limit Bob Huggins' team at the defensive end from a Baylor perspective?
Haven't given them second shots. They have not given them. They've only got 6 points off second chance points. So no question about it. West Virginia's missed some open shots, but they haven't been able to just attack that weak side board the way that they are so good at, to not only get putbacks but get the fouls. So the defensive rebounding of Baylor might be the #1 reason this game is still going in the way that it is for Baylor. They've made some shots. They've gotten some of their own putbacks. They haven't had an enormous amount of turnovers that have turned into baskets. All right, based on 16 turnovers, 16 points. That's part of it right now. The defensive rebounding has allowed them to continue to feel like they can win this game.
Baylor's turned it over 18 times, and yet here they are within 2. Gary Maxwell still over there. checking to make sure the possession arrow is correct.
The other thing, John, they've done such a good job of defensively is taking away the middle of the floor, where Carter loves to get drives. You saw it the other day against Oklahoma. He was able to get loose, get down the middle for baskets. They have come back and loaded up the middle of the floor in transition and not given that up as West Virginia's been in their half-court offense.
Carter, quick hands, knocked it out of bounds. And it stays with Baylor. West Virginia, a field goal percentage of 31.5%. Their low on the season is 31.2. So it's been about as bad as they've seen all year.
Now they'll run Manu off a screen. Either way, this is where he's so good at reading the screen. Open three.
Lindsay. And the rebound, Kanate. Vital went down hard. I think that right elbow.
Yeah.
I got Miles with his fourth.
Hope for him it's not his wrist. I mean, it is a fist fight in that glass. Just contact, he goes up, comes down wrong.
Yeah, like
nothing egregious there. .5:11 to go here.
Seven fouls on West Virginia, 8 on Baylor. And so West Virginia, they've got 4 fouls on Miles, 4 on Allen. McClure's got 4 for Baylor. Lindsay, Vital, and Maston with 3 apiece.
Shooter is injured and can't shoot, but because it's not a flagrant foul, the opposing coach picks from one of the 4 on the floor.
So you heard right there James Breeding saying that the shooter is injured, so Vital's not going to be able to shoot. It's not a flagrant, so it's up to Bob Huggins to pick from the remaining group on the court. And he picks Tristan Clark.
Tristan's made a couple big ones in this game. I'm sorry, 62% shooter, going 4-4 so far tonight.
So tied up again. Baylor unranked, trying to knock off the #2 team in the country. Top 5 teams combined for 13 losses versus unranked opponents so far this year. Kanate off the mark. And they're going to the possession arrow, and it stays with West Virginia. Scott Drew is saying it's our ball.
Right now, they're running this low action. They had Kanate open underneath on the post up, and they missed it. They took the jump shot. We'll see if they go back to this. See Jerome Tang over there with Scott Drew. So impressed with Tang today and the way that he ran the walkthrough. Jerome Tang on the Baylor side, Larry Harrison on the West Virginia side did such a great job of getting the team ready. Both staffs outstanding.
Did you say he stepped on the sideline?
Bob is in definite disagreement on that.
Yeah, he's frustrated with James Breeding there. And now they go to trap Lindsay. It ends up with LeConte. Carter takes it back. LeConte almost steals it from him. Carter from the corner. I mean, this is just a rock fight. Carter to West, way downtown. And LeConte with the rebound and then saves to Achuil. People thought that maybe LeConte had stepped on the baseline.
Right now, I've been praising Javon Carter for the unselfishness and the way he moves the ball. But a big-time player's got to start to make even more big-time plays here late in this game. It might be time for Carter to look for his offense a little bit more.
Gets inside, kicks out. Parler, wow, wide open. And it ends up. And Carter fouls LeConte. Javon Carter picks up foul number 2. We're tied at 49, under 4 to go. Well, it has been rough here tonight. Number 2 West Virginia taking on Baylor underneath. Mark Vital goes down hard, bangs his elbow, and not able to shoot the free throws. Terry Clark takes his place and makes them. We're tied at 49, and we've seen a lot of guys hitting the deck here tonight. John Chambee and Tom Crean with you from WVU Coliseum in Morgantown. Tied at 49 apiece. West Virginia, number 2 in the country for the first time since 1959.
Again, they didn't look at it. They want that mid catch at the free throw line. But they've got Konate open on that rollback.
There he is.
Got him on the other side. Yeah, he's open. They're not defending him. They're underneath him. And when you are underneath the offensive player, it's very, very hard to come back and get on top without fouling. And he's just stepping inside and sealing. You never want to be even or below your offensive player inside.
First West Virginia field goal in 5.5 minutes. Achuil not able to answer. So West Virginia ball up by a deuce. Under 3 to go here in Morgantown. Konate spinning some more. A little bit strong. And that one tipped out and ends up in LeConte. LeConte to 3. Air ball. Loose ball. They'll go to the possession arrow. Baylor basketball.
Sagaba Konate has been so aggressive all night long, not only on the defensive end, but what he's doing to get free offensively. He's got the ball inside the high post where he missed a free throw line jump shot a bit before. The action starts, goes inside or to the wing. He sets the pin down. They're in their triangle action. He's got him on his back, goes up, shoots it high off the board, jump hook, bucket. That's a little bit, that's indicative of this night. There were 6 people inside the painted area there right now because they're running the triangle action, and that's sometimes what you got to do. Just pound it in. And credit West Virginia for going back to a set that was there.
And get a foul on Bolden. Bolden his first, so West Virginia is shooting a season low 30%. Baylor's turned it over 19 times. And Baylor has won the advantage in the paint.
And if you'd have told us at the beginning of the game, or told me at the beginning of the game, they'd have a decided advantage of points in the paint this late in the game, I wouldn't have believed that.
Yeah.
Not that I would disagree or not believe that Baylor couldn't get 22 points in the paint, but that West Virginia would only have the ones that they have.
Carter has been super quiet tonight.
Here's the same action again. Konate looks, swings it back out. See if we get him on the roll.
Carter picks up his dribble, trying to feed inside. And now they turn it over.
There is just no room for Carter to maneuver at all inside of that paint.
Well, again, you got Achuil sort of waiting back there.
Sure,
you know?
they've done. Credit Scott Drew. No matter how this turns out, he has done a great job of taking away one of their strengths, which is middle penetration on the break, in the half-court offense, and certainly at the shot clock.
Baylor has never beaten a team ranked this high. Good hands, a deflection. Miles comes up with it. And gives off to Carter. Closing in on 90 seconds to go. Bob Huggins calls timeout. It has not been pretty offensively, but for one of these teams, this will be a big win. I mean, ultimately, you're trying to protect home court on the West Virginia side, and then for Baylor, I mean, this is a monster resume win if you can end up getting a W here.
No doubt about that. And for Baylor right now, the confidence has got to be extremely high. And if Bob Huggins has got to find something right now, and they've got some really, really good things that they do out of timeouts, and they get some really good misdirection. He's outstanding with that if they don't go straight into the post. But right now, if they found a way to get a middle ball screen right now to get Carter into the middle of the floor, because now if he gets into the middle of the floor and the paint becomes somewhere where they've got to come off the corners, that pass that he loves to make to the corner is there. But right now, they're not getting any of that help out of the corners because the lane is so tightened up, and he has not been able to penetrate that.
Yeah.
So we'll look for a play right now where they will either look to get an isolation on a post-up, they'll run some triple screen action with misdirection, and try to get it all going on one side of the floor, on the left side of the floor.
And he has been really uninvolved at times. I've been a little bit surprised that he hasn't, I mean, really at all taken it in there and seeing if he could even draw defenders.
No, but that's sometimes where your teammates don't rely on the set call, don't rely on Bob to make the call. Take it upon yourself to free up your best player. He is so unselfish to a fault tonight. Has played through what's got to be a frustrating evening for him. And right now it's up to his teammates to help keep him going, because if they're going to win the game, Javon Carter is going to have something to do with it here down the last 136.
West Virginia, #2 in the country, highest ranked since 1959. And oh, by the way, they had the longest win streak in the nation. West now gives off the Miles.
They missed the post up. Then Konate open. Great kick out.
Good hands by Lindsay. Vital. Lost it. Saved. Oh my goodness, by Miles.
Big time play.
Wow.
Big time play.
He was falling out of bounds and just kind of whacked it backwards.
1 minute to play.
Carter fires. Got it.
Got it.
He's been quiet all night. He matches his point total with one shot. He had 3, used the screen, and then knocks it down. But it all started with his backcourt buddy, Daxter Miles Jr. with that save.
West Virginia is a great team in pursuit of the ball. They get the back top. Somehow, miraculously, Miles keeps it in. Carter gets up the floor, has Konate in the post, wants the ball screen, gets it, gets a little bit of separation. He's back on track with a 3.
But we opened the broadcast, and you talked about how relentless they are at both ends of the court. And I think that Miles play kind of underlines it right there. As you mentioned, the fact they're going all the way down there and that ball's falling out of bounds at the defensive end, and he's trying to save it.
They never give up on the play, John. They never give up on the play. We can go back to Walsh College. We can go to Cincinnati. Before that, Akron. We can certainly go to a year at Kansas State and all the time at West Virginia. Bob never has to coach you to play harder or to compete. He coaches execution. They keep coming at you.
Lindsay with Bolden on. A 3-point game. West Virginia with the lead, trying to hang on here. Lindsay puts it on the floor. Shot clock under 10. LeConte with Miles on. LeConte tried to draw the foul, and the rebound ends up in the hands of Bolden, and now they're going to have to foul. LeConte chasing Carter, and eventually he fouls him. And there's Nate Adrian right there, clapping with the hat on backwards, the former Mountaineer. So here's Carter. Excellent free throw shooter. And a chance to turn this into a 2-possession game. Wow. Konate, huge rebound. And kicks it out to Miles. They're going to have to foul again, and they do. This one has had all sorts of twists and turns.
Let's go to football. They give up game balls in football, right? Konate has got to be that guy tonight. It's just amazing how he has played and done so many different things to impact this game. And free throw rebounding is such a battle. You cannot give up a block out like that late in the game.
A guy who's still learning the game, really didn't get his hoops game going until high school. A career high 7 blocks, a dozen blocks the last 2 games, a dozen blocks and 25 rebounds the last 2 games. Zags has been tremendous. Miles frustrated, not able to make the free throw.
Well, now the free throw rebounding, the free throw block out is important. And I wouldn't sleep on Bolden. We already known he's going to get a big offensive rebound put back like he had earlier tonight.
And he turns it into a 2-possession game.
Don't need a 3. You need to score quick.
McClure slipped down. Got to get something
Lindsay
up here quickly. Lindsay hits. And we get ourselves a 1-point game. 4 seconds left. Up next, we got Iowa State and Kansas. And a reminder, coming up tonight on ESPN, it is SportsCenter.
Well, we said a bit ago that Lindsay's got the respect of people in his league as a big playmaker late in the game. No bigger shot than right there.
SportsCenter tonight. Gruden, why did he return to the sideline? The Trae Young matchup. And then what's next for Alabama? And that's coming up 11 Eastern on ESPN. 1-point game. And obviously they will foul.
Well, what they want to do, all right, you don't want to be in a rush on this. You've got to try to get that 5 count. You've tried to get the steal or the tie up, even though you don't have the jump ball right now. All right, try to put as much pressure on the ball as you can. All right, but then you've got to foul right away. But don't give up on trying to make a play on this inbounds pass, because you're going to have to foul. So be aggressive. Get inside that passing lane. But the one thing you don't want to do is get beat long, because now it's game over.
Biggest play, biggest sequence really of the game. Vital with the steal, lost the handle. Miles saves to Carter, and then this is the ensuing possession.
And think about what we just saw. We saw 2 people involved with the ball, but when Miles saved it, who was there underneath the rim to get it?
Carter.
Carter comes down, has the presence of mind to get the play that he wants. All right, Kanate comes out, sets the screen. Great, great heads-up basketball.
Miles to inbound, no one on the ball. And they're going to get a foul on Jolly, fouling Carter. So they'll march it down to the other end as Carter was trying to shake loose. And Javon will get a chance.
Well, the bad news for Baylor is you didn't get a chance to make a play on the ball. The good news for Baylor is no time on off the clock, and you've got a chance to run one of your full court plays.
All right, so real quick, philosophically, if he makes them both, where do you stand on the, are you a fouling guy? Would you foul if you're Bob Huggins up 3?
No, not with 4 seconds, because you have to be so well timed to do that, because any sign of turning and facing the rim, all right, could turn into a 3-shot foul right there. I would trust my defense. And Bob Huggins has been a guy that has always trusted his defense. Not to say that he wouldn't foul here, but right now I would play this out, use my length, and just be totally aware of the pump fake being jumped into.
Got them both. 3-point game. Carter at 3 points in the first 39 minutes. He's got 5 in the last 50.
Last things they did was work on this today. He's got the 3.
LeConte not able to hit. Had a great look at it. That was a heck of a play. And West Virginia escapes. The number 2 team in the country, able to hang on at home. And they won it 57-54. For Tom Crean and our entire outstanding crew here at Morgantown, I'm John Shambi. It's Iowa State and Kansas right now.